Alright, today I've been hearing a lot about Chrono Odyssey, and I wanted to check it out myself. Some say that it looks like New World, but better, which won't take much effort. But I wanted to see for myself what is going on with this game. So we're going to take a look at the trailer. And I see it's PlayStation. I hope this is multi-plat. Let's pause real quick. I mean, this is 2024. I mean, 10 years ago, everything should have been multi-plat. And I'm glad things are kind of moving in that direction. Phil Spencer, I believe, started the ball rolling on that by putting a lot of Xbox games on Steam, which is unprecedented at the time. No one else wanted to do that, and Sony's following suit now. Where you at, Nintendo? We're waiting. You know how much more money you can make putting your games on Steam or even on PC? And don't do your own launcher. No one likes that. Just put it on Steam. It sucks taking the 30% cut. I agree it shouldn't be 30%. It's way too high. I don't think they give enough services, but I'd have to see a breakdown. I'm sure they make a ton of money. Just think for New World, for example, going back to that. It sold around 1 million copies. So times that by what, 60, 70 bucks, whatever they sold it for, and then just take 30% of that off. Yeah, it sucks losing that 30% cut, and then there's marketing. There's more money that's put into it than just your net sum, right? But I'm sure Steam made a pretty penny on it. And how much of that money was put towards necessities for New World itself on Steam side, is what I'm saying. So, anyway, let's get back to the trailer. The gist is we need to have crossplay with all consoles, and Nintendo would be nice if you catch up too, please. The Switch, I mean, it's just, you just keep making gimmick consoles. It's old, it's tired. I mean, come on, let's go. Catch up with the big boys here. I'm going to say UE5. Looks like it's UE5, or it looks really good. Looks like Destiny 2-ish with their designs there, like a hive. Wow, beautiful. I wonder if this is the maximum angle we get to zoom out as well. That's actually a good thing. I've really been wanting a third-person game, like a MMO or something, where you're kind of locked. You're locked at a certain, how far you can pull your camera out. So it's more personal, basically. So a lot of these, like a first person, would be very personal. When not Lord of the Rings, when ESO was coming out and they were talking about that, they had a first person mode, right, and they had a third person. But when they showed off the game, they showed the first person, and I was like, whoa, that's cool. Playing in first person would be really awesome. But obviously you have both, and just like most MMOs, you can zoom way out, and you lose that personalness of being close. And just think, you kind of have to, on the developer side, you have to lock it too. So you can only allow people to zoom out so much, and then you lock it. Don't allow add-ons or anything that can change that to go any farther, because you want everyone to be at that same spot, especially if you have PvP. That's the main thing. If you can zoom out like 30 yards, you're going to see everything around you, which is good to have situational awareness. But in a PvP game, I think it would be much better and more personal if you have the camera locked to a certain spot, so people are behind you, you don't see them. It's kind of like, well, not kind of, it's close to, but not. No, Chivalry does have third person. I hate that they have third person. So Chivalry 2, if you've never heard of it, great game, very good melee combat. And they have 2, you can go first person and third person. I always play first because it just feels better, but I really wish they would have locked it to the first person because it's more fair. Third person, you can see a lot more. It's like the same thing like in a third person game looking around a corner. It's just the way the camera works. Unless they were to, like, I don't know, someone at the game knew you're on a corner, and it's like, oh, okay, we're going to pull the camera over so you can't see around the corner. It's kind of cheating, truthfully. So a homeboy that's running up around the corner, he doesn't see you. Good, but you can see him, no problem. It's just kind of, it's a built-in loophole with that design. But anyway, yeah, I like if they keep the camera where we just saw it, and maybe a little closer, almost to the over the shoulder. Great, like it. So definitely action combat, Dark Souls-esque. Definitely Dark Souls-esque. That's my cutscene. Super slow clamber. And this is gameplay. Now that looks like Anthem. That's crazy. It's like they took a whole bunch of different games and just kind of combined them, which is, I have no problem with. I've always said, take all the good from games and then amalgamate it into one. Make one good product, because you don't need to reinvent the wheel every time a game comes out. You should have newer systems or build upon systems, but you don't need to be like well, the round wheel doesn't work for us. We're going to make a square wheel or a hex wheel. The round wheel works perfect. Just use that. It's the same thing with a lot of mechanics that come from other games. Just use what they got. It's got to be E5 or something off. It looks way too big. So abilities with, I'd say, light attack so far. I have to see some more combat with the small things. It looks like it's set up kind of like Korean games. And actually, I wouldn't doubt it's a Korean studio, truthfully. I mean, they've been on fire this year. We've got TNL coming up, and we just had the first Ascendant. Boss fight looks like almost a Monster Hunter-esque. Whoa, dude. That's the boss from Pitch Black. Just bigger. It's a raid, obviously. As long as it's not face roll like all WoW's outdoor raids, roll your eyes on that one. It always felt so cool. Oh, a world boss, but they're always just like tank and spank, like. I don't know. They lower the difficulty to the point where it's like anyone can do it because they don't want people to feel bad that they lost. So is there a rewind feature or something when you die? Is that what the whole Chrono thing's about? Obviously Chrono deals with time. The world looks cool. Love it. Balrog. I am liking the boss fights. It looks really fun. As long as they have a trinity, which is pretty much required for any MMO. If you want it to succeed, you need a trinity. That's not fully true because Guild Wars 2 kind of proves that wrong. They don't really have a trinity. You can build your character to kind of have a trinity, but yeah, it's not required. But a trinity does make things better in my opinion. I really do think so. It's kind of been proven over time and time again. AOC is going to have a trinity. New World had a trinity, which doesn't say much because it's dead. It's a bad example. But yeah, this looks great. So what do we got here? We got PS5. Let's see. In pixel, okay. Yep. PlayStation. Let's check real quick. Will Chrono Odyssey be on Steam? Hey, right on. Cool. Is it going to be on Xbox? Game set to come out PC. Very good. Good. The bigger your player pool, the better. It cannot hurt you. It can only be a boon to your game. I want to play with as many people possible. I hate queues. I'm sure everyone out there hates queues. And definitely, very good to see that. Very glad. Okay, yeah, Chrono Odyssey is looking pretty cool. Obviously, it's a trailer, and they want it to look as good as possible for us. We won't know until we play it. The one thing I would say to any dev, especially MMOs, open beta. Always open beta. Why? Two things. So people can try it first. It's probably going to be free to play, so you can try it when it comes out anyway. But besides that is the testing the servers. Making sure servers, so you have an open beta. And, one thing too, I guess I should probably finish that thought. In open beta, you're going to see basically how many people are going to be in the game. And obviously you don't go with, oh, we had 40,000 people in the beta, so therefore we'll have servers that can, enough servers to hold 40,000. No, don't be dumb. I would go 100% above, like 200% what you see. If you see 40,000, let's just do 10,000, make it easy. 10,000 in the beta, just do enough servers for 20,000. Or even more, 250%. And make it 30,000 or 25,000. You understand? Like, always overshoot it. Because the one thing you don't want to do is undershoot it, like New World did, and many other games have done, where it comes out, and I think most of us can agree, we're really tired of it. It's like, how do you keep screwing this up? To me, it's so simple. You have a backup plan. So like Helldivers 2 was a good example. They said, they didn't expect, what was it, 1,800,000 or something? Like a ton of players came in. They didn't expect that because they're a little indie. They're a little indie studio, They didn't expect that to happen. So, but when it did, they were pretty quick to get servers online and to get that thing, enough people could play the game. And I was actually really surprised because they're, like I said, they're like double A, truthfully, studio, but they reacted more quickly than 90% of AAA studios, and that's sad. That is sad. I mean, there is a point too with AAA studios where you have too many people and too many meetings and too much going on, where work doesn't get done. You think you're doing work, but you're not. I mean, when I worked at one of the last couple jobs ago, that job, people were doing meetings all day long, and it was like a mom and pop, basically, company. It wasn't a small company, but it wasn't, a huge corporation. It just blew me away. It's like, when do you guys actually do any work? All you do is talk all day in meetings. So, anyway, sorry guys. I tangent. That's just the way it is. Chrono Odyssey, looking good. I like it. I want to play it, but we need that open beta. We need players or the servers to work, and we need them to work on day one. First impressions are everything. You don't make a good first impression, it's not going to go too well for you. So, all right, I think I'll end it there. You guys have a good one. Cheers.